Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. I've been working out with this body. Everybody gonna see this shit. So we gonna come in with the live music, the intro music, and then we'll get started. But we're already live on Facebook right now. We've been live for like the last 30 seconds. So they'll kind of get off. Um, they'll kind of get the backstage chatter and everything, and then we'll go ahead and officially get started. I have. I have. It's been a really good day. Productive day. Productive day. I'm ready to go see. Y'all like Earthquake, the comedian? I don't know if y'all heard of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's out here tonight. So I gotta. Yeah, I'm going out there with a friend, and we gonna laugh it up. So absolutely, it's good for the soul, good for the spirit, right? Come on, that's why I got y'all here. Tell us about it.
Is there a way y'all can tilt your camera so you're both in the screen where
Oh yeah.
it's half and half? That's what we're gonna use for the video. Yeah, the one with both of y'all in there at the same time is what our video is gonna be. Okay, let me try it.
We got the Mickey D's French fry lights on me, so I'm sweating a little bit. So I got this.
That's hilarious.
They baking your boy over here.
What's great is you're not the only person.
The French fry lights.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So if people can't hear the audio, I'm going to recast this. I'm going to edit and recast it so people can hear the full conversation. So other than that, I think we're about to go ahead and get the music started. Spider, if they can't hear the chatter from my StreamYard, um, should I post the Zoom so people can get on the Zoom? Would they be able to hear from there? No. Okay. Bad idea. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like
Come on,
that.
Spider.
Okay.
That's why you make the big bucks, sir.
Alright. Say something to make sure it's not too loud that it comes back through the microphone.
Sure. Testing, testing. What's good?
Okay, that should be alright.
All right.
Alright, I think everything's good.
Let's roll.
Texting me and you should be here already, baby. Cause I'm ready. Come over. I like the way we go back and forth. I think it's time we go back and forth. What you doing? Are you coming over? Slowly, I can feel your heartbeat. The boat and work the middle. Show and taste your taste the little. Throw it down, pick it up, bring it up. Like I'm shaking cool ladies all over. It ain't over. Depending on how you do it, I let you right there. Grab my leg, hold my hand. Give me passion. Wanna feel compassion. Kiss me there, make me feel you lay down. I'll go first. Give me passion. Show me your compassion. Oh.
What's going on, compassionate community, my compassionate people? We're back here with another episode. We're talking about holding space. I got my fam with me again, the Grand Trine fam with me. I got my I got my soul sisters with me, my spiritual sisters with me to talk about holding space. And we're going to talk about some other things too that I think that gets misunderstood in the community, gets misunderstood in social media, and it's looked at as normalized behavior. When we're talking about relationships, when we're talking about getting in tune with self, learning how to relate to other people. We're just not, from my perspective, I think we're doing a shitty job, a really shitty job. And so, how do we get to the point where we can have a healthy dialogue and we can get to the inner core of ourself and we can work with the other person in the healthiest of ways? So, I got my dog Chantel. I got my dog Candace with me, and I just want to bring them in because they're both mediums. They're both tantric practitioners. They both can give you all the things that you need to get right into your inner core, your heart, and to go ahead and be the healthiest person you need to be. And so we're going to talk about holding space, though. But what's going on, Candace? What's going on, Chantel? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, all right. I mentioned it earlier. I told you I'm gonna wear something sexy today, and I ain't tell y'all what it was, and y'all both showed up in black. So y'all, I don't know if you're reading my mind or I don't know what's going on here. Like this shit's crazy, but I love it. This is family. This is real tribe behavior right here. Yeah.
We got to make sure you're looking good.
Come on. Come on. Come on. So we were having a discussion the other day. First of all, y'all want to anything else you want to just kind of throw in there as far as the introduction before we get into it? Is there anything that you'd like to say about yourself? Okay. So, okay. Like, damn all the formalities. Let's get into it. So, yeah. I love it. I love it. So, so we were talking about soft life, and I see a number of women and men not understanding what soft life is. And it's understood as basically like sugar baby behavior. Um, Taking a woman and doing all these things in what's seemingly um, a traditional role just gone wild. A dude with all this money, Kevin Samuels six-figure situations, and you know, making sure that the woman has a car and paid for, house paid for. Dude might not be staying in it with her, or he might. All the food, and she doesn't really bring anything to the table, and it may not even be sex. And so, soft life is is really an unhealthy way to have a relationship between man and woman. And that's what we're looking at right now. You know, not same-sex situations. And I love my same-sex community. I love the LGBTQI, but we're talking about heteronormative situations. And when we're talking about soft life, it really has an unhealthy energy to it. What do y'all think about soft life? What is that to you?
Yeah, I would say like it's kind of perpetuating this whole dynamic of I would say like an exchange, but it's not really an exchange.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of this ideal, like, okay, and I've heard women, even clients, as a therapist, say like kind of like just because I'm me, I ain't gotta do nothing. So it's like kind of like just the fact that you even with me is a luxury, so you need to pay to just even be in my presence kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that it's healthy because of the simple fact is that how does that in essence it could make the man feel devalued.
Perfect point. I was looking at a speech the other day, and dude was like, men need to understand their value and that you are a part of this relationship. And you know, our roles get defined before we even know what the hell we want to do. And we may not want to have that kind of relationship, but we have a lot to offer. We don't understand our roles, our values in the relationship, and it gets overlooked. But what about you, Chantel? What do you think about all that?
I agree with Candace. I agree that there's a real misconception about what being soft means. You know, to me, being soft is finding something within myself that brings me peace, not having some external gratification,
Come on.
having to end or use my body to get something that I need from this person that's supposed to be my partner or my mate, having to work extra hard to get these things, doing something that I may or may not want to do so that I can have this quote unquote soft life. Is it really soft if, I'm going through all of these extra things to get it?
Absolutely. And more can be done without having to do all the extra shit.
Exactly.
Not having to control or say, you got to do this or that has to happen for me to be a woman.
Just flow. Yeah. It's just flowing into it and not expecting to be a certain kind of way. Because
Right.
that's what the problem is. And we misunderstand them as the divine feminine in that way.
Come
She's
on.
very misunderstood. Because we feel like it was supposed to look a certain way or be a certain way as opposed to just flowing in it and becoming it naturally.
Absolutely. And that sounds like to me that you already have all the energy, all the things that you need. You just need to jump into it.
Absolutely.
No man can tell you how to be feminine or whenever you need to jump into feminine. I hear a lot of times, well, what are you doing to make me get into my feminine? Like,
no. Yeah, I shouldn't have to make you get into your feminine. It should be a natural, normal aspect of who you are.
Absolutely.
And just like with, and I ain't gonna get on that soapbox with sexuality, we blame male partners for our own sexual pleasure when it's our responsibility for our pleasure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to kind of jump to this is a horrible transition, but I'm always asking people this, and y'all listen. I'm just gonna be vulnerable with it. How does have you ever had? And I know the answer, but I just want to spread the love. Have you ever had a spiritual and full body orgasm, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to articulate that.
Sure.
High level orgasm is no joke. Let's just say that. And it can last for hours and hours. It's an experience where, you can feel it all the way through the fingertips, head to toe. Indescribable experience. And it just kind of it's literally like riding a wave. Literally riding the wave and staying in the wave and flowing in the wave. So it's kind of like, okay, can you stay in the wave for 30 seconds? Can you stay in the wave for 60 seconds? Can you stay in the wave for 90 seconds? Then it's kind of like it's like you shoot off into the ethers. Amazing. So, indescribable experience. But it's not to say that it's just to have the experience, just to have it, but it should translate in your everyday life. That my life should be a lifestyle of bliss, happiness, peace, joy. Things taste better, things smell better, things look better.
Gratitude.
So it's an extension of, because people just get to like, oh, it's just orgasms. No, this is supposed to extend into your day-to-day life. It's a lifestyle as bliss.
Absolutely. What about you, Santora?
For me, what it feels like, the experience of it is if I'm being plugged into this electrical socket, but all of the energy in my body is at an even balance. Like nothing is high, nothing is low, everything is just even. And from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, I am in bliss. My heart is in bliss, my mind is in bliss, my body, my skin, everything about me is just in this state. Your hair is just in this state of undescribable bliss, but the bliss feels like love, and it feels like peace, and it feels like joy, and it feels like gratitude, and it just feels like all of the beautiful things that you could ever imagine, and you feel it throughout your entire body. And what you realize is the actual sexual orgasm doesn't even compare to that feeling of love that encompasses you. But it's like the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced.
How much has that helped you get into your feminine, your divine feminine? Well, I guess you were there before that, right? You were there. You were already in your divine feminine to have that to happen. But
it helps you to settle into it.
Yeah, the lived experience of that is way different. It does help you tap into that.
Yeah.
that femininity, that sensual, you know, as women, we lack sensuality a lot. So it just helps you when you have to experience and live in the sensual, it brings that out naturally.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and men can be very sensual too.
Absolutely.
You know, but it brings out that, like, oh, like, it's a whole different type of vibe.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, as I've learned just in these spaces, you know, when we do table work, a lot of guys don't necessarily easily get the orgasms like y'all do. Y'all hold your feminine energy to such a higher power, it's so amazing. Seeing y'all do what you need to do, what you're wanting to do. It's hard. Like, it's hard for us. It's hard for us. And so, you know, a lot of it, I think, is a lot of social misunderstandings, right? We think that we have to be masculine and we have to control and all these things. But we also have feminine energy.
Yes, y'all do. Absolutely.
And it's very beautiful.
It is. Absolutely. Especially when it can surrender, you know, because there's so many blockages. It feel like, you know, you think even not just on the table, but even sexually, men being quiet, you know, and that was always a turn off for me personally. Like, don't just lay there and breathe, please. I need to know that you're enjoying the moment. And
Right.
so the same table, like, let go, be free, be open, be vulnerable. And I understand that there are societal norms that influence, you know, those things.
And I think also it's the misconception of what the feminine energy is as a man. For us, that feminine energy is that love and that softness and that gentle caress that you give us and that holding and cradling us and allowing us to be the woman that you desire us without leaving us with a feeling of, was I enough, or did I do enough, or, you know, did he enjoy? It's just allowing me to be and meeting me where I am so that I can meet you where you are in your energy.
Perfectly stated.
Yeah.
Perfectly stated. Which leads us to, what in the hell does holding space mean? Like, what is that?
You know, real life, it's just being, allowing that person to be in that vulnerable, very authentic state and just sitting in there with them. Generally, because sometimes some people try to do extra stuff. Like, it's just like, we just need you to fall back. Just sit there. Just hold the space. That's it. Just sit. You know what I'm saying? And witness the authenticity that is happening in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No judgment, no, you know, making me feel any type of way because maybe my response wasn't what you thought it should be, or even what I thought it should be, or because I'm crying, or, you know, like, I don't need a lot of questions. I just need to know that you're there, you know.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be a discussion. It's just that you're there. It's that security of knowing that regardless of what I'm going through, regardless of what's happening, it's okay for me to be completely vulnerable and transparent in this moment and not have to leave with any kind of baggage when it's over. You know, just accepting where I am in that moment and allowing me to be in that moment.
And sitting in the pain. If it requires that, just sit.
Exactly.
That's it. Don't require much. And I think sometimes people think too hard about what holding space looks like they have to do something. Really, it's doing nothing, and doing nothing is doing something.
Exactly. And it's also being there without me feeling like there needs to be an expectation of me to do something after this process has happened, you know, just allowing me to be, and I don't have to do or be anything other than what I am in that moment. That's it.
Yeah. Chantel, our first ritual together, I held you down.
Beautiful.
Nobody else is going to hold you down. I'm going to hold you down.
Listen, it was the most beautiful thing, because that was one of my first rituals. It wasn't my first embodiment or anything, but that was one of my first rituals. And because I knew you were there, I knew I was safe to travel. I knew I was safe to be. I knew I was safe to cry. I knew I was safe to experience. And it was like this protection. It literally felt like somebody put a cover, a veil, a protection around me, and nothing could touch me, no matter what I was experiencing. And even if it went sideways, your touch just brought me back to It was amazing.
I learned so much from that. I learned so much from ritual. I think a lot of men need to learn how to hold space for women. Uh,
Absolutely. Very much so.
and
It's such an
right. And so, if you look at uh, common issues or hot topics today, looking at Kiki Palmer and her boyfriend, both. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think it's a publicity stunt, but I think both people were wrong. However, he should have held space for her. I think he did not do it that well. And if he had have given her an opportunity to, do what she did and then pulled her in and say, hey, let's have this conversation without embarrassing her.
Of course, definitely. And I think it's some context that's missing in regards to becoming a mom. And me, I'm newer than others because I was a late mom.
Yeah.
And you, in essence, kind of lose yourself.
Yeah.
And I only speak to my experience, but it's kind of like, do I still feel sexy? Do I still feel feminine? Do I still feel like a woman and not just a mom? And so I think for her, it was kind of like, because I could see it on her, it's like she felt sexy that night. She felt good that night.
Yeah.
And granted, maybe he did feel disrespected, and I don't want to negate that. And
Right.
perhaps, yes, should have been a conversation in the background. Him just busting out with that on social media, that probably wasn't a good look. I get how it could have hurt his feelings, but I understand where she was coming from. Like, I want to feel sexy. I'm a new mom, and I don't be feeling sexy. So that fourth trimester is real. Trust me, because I went through it. You know what I mean? And trying to reclaim that femininity, that self. Like, am I still this sexual being? Am I still this sensual being? And what does that look like for me? And for her, I feel like that was a monumental moment that kind of got shunned by him. And I get, like I said, perhaps the disrespect of the relationship wherever their agreements were. You know what I mean? And I feel like that should have been a conversation, or should have, or will be. And at the same time, I can see why she felt the way she felt.
Absolutely. And then there's another example where, Jada looked at Will and he sent his ass on up there and slapped the hell out of Chris Rock. Like, I don't think she was holding space for him at that point.
It was just like, yeah, I'm offended.
Like, Will gonna die for you. Like, come on, you got to protect his image, right? And you got to protect him from him sometimes, and that's just the reality. You got to know your patient. You got to know your partner. And so,
know your partner.
Yeah.
As a partner that will hold space, I know if it was my husband, I'd be like, you know what, babe, like, talk to him in the back, don't slap him, but let's do this on the side, because you got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Which he did. Exactly.
Yeah. He lost a lot.
I love you. I understand that.
Yeah. That man would take a bullet for that woman.
It's also the misconception of what he should have done. Mm-hmm. He's a comedian. They do that to each other all the time.
Yeah.
The same thing as with Keke Palmer. It's Usher. He sings to people. He dances with people. He romances people. That's what he does.
Right.
She just happened to be the person that he did it to that day. So that should have been a conversation. That wasn't the first time Usher has pulled somebody on the stage. And I mean, she's a very beautiful, attractive girl, and she felt sexy. He made her feel sensual, and that's what the problem was. It wasn't that she was dancing with Usher. That's what Usher does. It was that Usher made her feel something he wasn't making her feel. And instead of it being a conversation, he lashed out.
Yep.
Which, again, would be them holding space for each other. Him holding space for her to express what she felt, and her holding space to listen to and understand how he perceived what she felt.
Forgive me, y'all. I'm getting over a cold. So,
you're fine.
Yeah. So if you hear me cough a little bit.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Have you ever had challenges with holding spaces at work, relationships, or anything? How did you get through that? How did you get through that? Let's just say work. I don't want to put your personal stuff out there. Let's just say work or something else. That's a light conversation, right? So, how did you get through that? How did you end up building the trust so that you can hold space for your partner or the situation in general? And I'll go. I remember working. I can't say where I'm working at, but working at this job. This lady, I became an acting program manager for a little bit, And I guess the lady, she saw I had a little bit of power, and she said that she ain't gonna do shit that I say, and I ain't her boss, and
Ooh,
and she
okay.
professionally said fuck you, right? So how did I work towards, and this is a work situation, how did I end up holding space for her? um well, first and foremost, I didn't want to lose my job, so I had to understand the vulnerable parts of me. I was cussing this motherfucker out, right? And I needed to let it go, right? So I needed to say, oh, you motherfucker, or whatever it is. I had to get that out, so I wouldn't project that towards her, right? So so after I had my little lemon squeeze with myself, um, or if you read some books about holding space, it may be called limerence, but I'm just going to say lemon squeeze with myself. I got to the point where I was able to say, okay, such and such. Um, I'm here for you. I'm going to be here for you. What do you need? What do you want? And I was able to focus on what she needed and what she wanted. And we didn't have a friend conversation after that. Um, but she was held down at work, and I was going to look out for her and other employees too. And so, that's an example of how I held space for somebody else in work when it was
Yeah.
a horrible situation, well, a bad situation that could have been horrible, but I had to start with me. A lot of times when
Yeah.
we talk about holding space for somebody else, um, we have to hold space for ourselves.
That part. Mhm.
And,
Absolutely.
and I don't think a lot of us do. We just have this scarcity mindset. We just got to go get this money, do all this. We're not focusing on the inner. And you two are very good at understanding where a person is, as far as their energetic heart is, or where they are, just understanding where they are with their heart, you know.
Absolutely.
And so,
Absolutely.
and people really took the time to get into their heart,
Absolutely.
then they can hold space
Absolutely.
for other people.
Absolutely. And it starts with self, and that's with everything. It starts with self. Because if I ain't got it with self, I ain't gonna have it with nobody else.
Yeah.
It starts there. And a lot of people, it's a misconception as if that's not the case. But relationship with self is so important. Self love with self is so important.
Yeah.
Because I can give anything to anyone that I don't give to myself.
Yeah. And so, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you got
For me, also, it's learning to meet the person where they are and not expecting me out of that person. So once I have a few coworkers that don't quite understand what it means to have an adult conversation. So it's a lot of raised voices and things of that nature. And what I've learned to do is just allow them to express whatever it is that they need to express, and either I'm going to engage or disengage from the conversation. After I realize that it doesn't always need to be a comment. Sometimes my holding space is just allowing them to get whatever that issue is that they're having out, because a lot of times it's not even my issue that an issue with me. It's something that they brought to work or something that they have going on with someone else, and I'm just that soft landing spot.
absolutely.
So I've had to learn to adjust to that and be that without taking offense and just letting them have their moment.
Yeah, and not internalize that.
Exactly. I'm not as poised as y'all. I'm sorry, it's my Aries energy. Because I come with the thunder. Don't come for me because I'm about to snap. I'm a certain kind of way. And then, I was talking to my homegirl yesterday about ageism, because it's real. Because,
It
at
is.
31, I was talking to the director when I first moved down here. A lot of my staff was older than me. So
Yeah.
people was coming for me left and right. And I remember this chick, she was Haitian. These Caribbean, they come a little strong. So I'm feeling the shift. I said, yo, what's going on right now? Because I'm feeling some energy. I'm feeling something it's some tension there.
Yeah.
But it was she felt the way, and she was honest with me. She said, it's my age. And she was at the time, 46, 47? So I was like, how is this little girl? She didn't know how old I was. I look like a kid. We know this. Don't tell me. So I was like, let's have a conversation about what's happening right now. Let's be real. You know what I mean? And it's frankly, I'm licensed. You're not. You're trying to get licensed. So let's have a conversation on how I can be helpful for you. Even though I came a little rah-rah, but she came at me rah-rah first. But we was able to get some clarity, have some resolve, and then at that point we had a great supervisory relationship.
Yeah. So we're coming up on limited time here, but what would you do? How would you handle having a conversation with people when they need to hear about holding space? What would you tell them that they need to know? What could they learn from you today about holding space, and how can they pull away with something, at least one thing about what holding space is for them? Maybe it be the trust building stage, whether it be creating a safe environment. What are some things that people can pull away from holding space from each of you that they can use in their personal lives today and moving forward?
I would say just literally, like, and I hate, it sucks to keep using therapeutic terms, but that unconditional positive regard,
Absolutely.
that passion and love, is something that one of my supervisors used to say when I first started, was that if you can find one thing to care about the person about, you can go leaps and bounds in regards to business space, that unconditional positive regard, finding that one thing, that compassion, just being present. Sitting in the pain with people, and clearly as a therapist, got to sit in pain every day, got to sit in the darkness with people every day, but just literally knowing, sometimes all you got to do is just show that you're there. And especially, I know everything is kind of virtual now, but especially in person, sometimes I would physically just touch their shoulder, touch their leg, and just to say like, hey, I'm with you. Or even something as simple as leaning in, and I'll purposely lean in. Even on video, I will lean in to say like, hey, I'm meeting you where you are, just to show that you're engaged and that you're connected and that they're safe and not doing no trickery or trying to, that's tantric spaces, so I won't even go there. But I'm just saying that we can be fully authentic in ourselves without worrying about somebody trying to be coercive or trying to be slick. That part.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Chantel?
For me, it would be more or less getting out of the way, like getting out of my own ego and understanding that for me to be able to hold space for a person, I can't be judgmental. I can't always have an opinion. I have to just be the same way I want to allow them to be. So just getting out of the way and just allowing the process to happen without trying to control, the outcome or the process, just allowing the process to happen the way that it's meant to happen and just being there to allow, to give a safety net, so to speak, not always trying to fix it, but just listen. Sometimes people don't want you to fix their shit, they just need somebody to listen so that they can hear it out loud and then it starts to process.
That's beautiful.
Just out of the way.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer, but I still want to go in on, I feel like we all just need to go out and get a drink. Too bad I'm not in ATL. We all dressed in black. I feel like this is like one of them. I feel like, come on. I feel like y'all need to sit at the table like New Jack City, and we need to have one of those. You know what I mean? I need to go to get a pit bull. I need to go. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, listen. Hopefully, y'all can come back. I got a number of other things I want to talk about. I got a book coming out. I have an animation coming out. I got a lot of things I want to talk about with those things because Tantra is going to be all up in those. Because I feel like people. I feel like people are not really understanding we're born with all we need, and Tantra helps us get into that. And
Absolutely.
we, as a therapist, I always push therapy, but I also push beyond therapy too. And
of course.
And so, when I tell people like, okay, yeah, therapy, but there's also this, it goes over their head. And so I'm making sure that, as Master Yao said, I'm raging out of control with putting Tantra out there in everything that I do. And so I'm going to welcome you back for all the kind of the crazy and fun conversations. So thank y'all so much, man. What y'all got going on after this? Y'all finna go out? Y'all look good. I'm really jealous. Like I want to hang out with y'all. Yeah. Drop your IGs, your Facebooks, anything you got coming up. What's up?
My IG is Chantel Circle of Healing. Right now, I'm just getting everything together, kind of, processing and everything, but just working it out. Just working it out. Right?
Come on.
Yes. And mine is the Tantric MFT, Instagram, Facebook, and just it's some things coming to works because we the angel bringer downers and whatnot. So we got something, but it's not solidified yet, but it's gonna be some stuff. Yeah.
Can I just put this out there? Yes, she said angel bringer downers. So in these spaces in Tantra, we do work with angels. I know that sounds like magic. It's not magic. You have the energy to do that. And so so these are the women, the experts that can actually do that. And so anyway, signing off. Thank y'all for coming to my podcast. I'll be shooting this out again. I'm going to try to edit it. There's not much I need to edit anyway, but do a little work on this, and then I think I'll try to send you a copy. If not, I'll just direct you to the link. And I can't thank y'all enough. Gratitude, love, and praises. Love y'all, man.
Love you, fam.
All right, y'all have a nice day. We're gonna end with the music again. Y'all can tune out if you want to. Y'all can rock to it. That's my favorite jam, to be honest with you. That's my shit.
And you were jamming in your own world. We couldn't hear nothing.
You can hear nothing? Oh man, I'm gonna send it to you. It's a jam. It's my homeboy. He produces for Eric Roberson, and
I love it.
yeah. So he did that for me, and he got one of my sorority sisters to sing on it, and I'm just like, look, I got to get a whole album to get couples to fucking and having intimacy.
That's the point.
You know what I mean?
So
yeah. So I'm trying. I can't afford it right now, but I'm gonna get to that. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That's right.